Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. And we're continuing our French theme here right after the Mirage 2005 F review. So, today we have another true delightful, which is the Dassault Rafale B. As you can see, this aircraft bears the national insignia of the French Air Force with a serial number EC14. This specific Rafale from Escadron D Chasse 14 Gascogne, basically this squadron stationed at Saint Dizier. Now, this specific aircraft contributed in so-called the Operation Chammal circa 2018. So, in April 2018, French Air Force, specifically the Rafale B fighters from the Escadron D Chasse, flew sorties over Syria during Operation Chammal, the French contribution to the fight against the Islamic State, or better known as ISIS, over the Iraq and Syria. Specifically, 5 Rafale Bs were armed with a Scalp EG cruise missiles to basically strike Syrian chemical warfare targets as a part of multinational strike. The France joined the US in a British coalition, contributing to international legitimacy. Well, by joining the coalition, France helped to legitimize the military intervention against ISIS. France's role was particularly important to the US and its partners because of its history as an independent and often critical voice on a foreign policy, which helped demonstrate broad international support for the operation. Now, move on to the history of Rafale, which I call this aircraft, shall we say, the pride of French Air Force, which demonstrates the excellence of French ingenuity. This aircraft is 100% French from the drawing board to the final bolt. So, the Dassault Rafale represents a pinnacle of French aerospace engineering, embodying a multi-role combat aircraft designed to perform a wide spectrum of missions with precision and adaptability. Since its inception, the Rafale has been critical assets in France's defense strategy and has garnered international attention for its combat performance and export success. The Dassault Rafale's inception was driven by France's strategic imperative to maintain an independent and technologically advanced aerospace industry. So, in the late 1970s, the French military recognized the need to replace its aging fleet, which included the Mirage 3, Mirage F1, Jaguar, the F8 Crusaders, etc. These aircraft were becoming more obsolete in the face of evolving threats and technological advancements. So, initially, France participated in the Multinational European Fighter Aircraft Program, or better known the EFA project, alongside the UK, Germany, Italy, and Spain. However, differences in operational requirements led to France pulling out from that consortium, which was back in 1985, while other nations prioritized the air superiority, which was a multi-role aircraft today known as the Eurofighter Typhoon. However, France sought a multi-role aircraft capable of performing air-to-air, air-to-ground, reconnaissance, and nuclear deterrence missions, including a carrier-based operations. That being said, France put a strong emphasis on the naval variant, which can be capable of operating from its aircraft carrier. For example, let's say can operate from Charles de Gaulle. So, following its departure from the multinational project, France initiated something called the Avion Combat Experimental, or the ACX program. The ACX aimed to develop a versatile fighter aircraft tailored to French military needs, basically establishing the core design. The program emphasized the integration of advanced technologies, including fly-by-wire control systems, using composite materials and canard delta wing configuration to enhance the maneuverability and performance, which consequently evolved into the Rafale A. The Rafale A technology demonstrator developed under the ACX program, which first flew on July 4th, 1986. This design of Rafale was a somewhat complex process which involved a numerous of engineers. However, Eric Trappier was the chairman and the chief executive officer of the Dassault Aviation, and he was the brain behind the Rafale project strategy. Moving on, the Rafale program faced a bottleneck due to delays in development of the indigenous SNCMA M88 engines. But the demonstrator aircraft was initially powered by two General Electric F404 engines because France's domestic SNCMA M88 engines were simply not ready yet for the flight test. So, by using a mature and reliable engine, the Dassault thought this well. Integrating an improving newly developed engine into an all-new airframe would have added a significant risk to the program. Therefore, the F404 allowed Dassault to focus on testing the experimental airframe. So, in 1990, the SNCMA M88 engine was finally fitted to the aircraft to begin flight testing the new power plant. This phased approach allowed for a smooth transition from a proving engine to the final domestic product. Further, the Rafale A's flight test program, spanning 8 years, just to validate the aircraft design and performance characteristics, basically paving the way for the development of the production variants. Throughout its development, also the Rafale faced several challenges, including a budget constraints and also the other technological hurdles. Despite these obstacles and setbacks, the program persisted, driven by France's commitment to strategic autonomy. The Rafale successfully met its original intent by delivering a multi-role fighter capable of fulfilling the diverse operational requirements of the French Air Force as well as the Navy. Its design facilitated seamless transitions between mission profiles, underscoring its versatility and effectiveness in modern combat scenarios. Moving on into the design capabilities, the Dassault Rafale distinctive canard delta wing configuration is a culmination of aerodynamic innovations aimed at enhancing maneuverability and performance. This design combines a delta wing with active close coupled canards, resulting in an aerodynamically unstable platform that basically requires a sophisticated flight control systems to maintain stability. The instability here, however, translates to superior agility, allowing the aircraft to execute rapid maneuvers and maintain control at a high angles of attack. The canard delta wing design also contributes to reduced landing speeds, which is a very critical factor for a carrier base operations. The Rafale also employs a full digital fly-by-wire flight control system, which is a pioneering feature at the time for its development. This system replaces the traditional mechanical linkages with the electronic signals, allowing for precise control of the aircraft flight surfaces. The fly-by-wire system is a quadruple redundant, comprising three digital channels and one separately designed analog channel, ensuring a high reliability and the safety. This system not only maintains the aircraft's stability despite its inherent aerodynamic instability, but also enhances its maneuverability and responsiveness. Since the Rafale is considered the fourth and a half generation Incidentally, this aircraft has a low observability. While not a stealth aircraft in the fifth generation sense, the Rafale incorporates a range of low observability features that significantly reduce its radar and infrared signature. These include carefully angled airframe surfaces, radar absorbing materials, such as the sawtooth edge treatments on the control surfaces and access panels. The S-duct shaped air intakes that shield the engine compressor faces from the radar. The canopy is also coated to reduce reflectivity, and the M88 engines were designed with infrared signature suppression in mind, employing a cold spot mixing system to lower thermal emissions combined with the aircraft highly integrated Spectra electronic warfare suite. These features gives the Rafale a level of survivability and a situational awareness that rivals. Let's talk about the other characteristics of Rafale. This aircraft is amplified by a highly integrated avionics suite. At its core, I'm trying to remember here, folks, if memory serves. I think it's called the RBE2, the ACER radar. But anyways, correct me if I botched on that. So moving on, since its induction into French service, the Dassault Rafale has consistently demonstrated its adaptability and effectiveness across diverse spectrum of operation theaters. Excuse me, folks, I had to take a little swig here. Anyways, so following a lengthy development cycle, beginning with the prototype Rafale Ace made in flight in 1986, and the Rafale C first flight in 1991. The first production Rafales were delivered in the early 2000s. So the Rafale M, which is the naval variant, entered service first, with delivery starting in 2000, and the operational deployment brought the aircraft carrier Charles de Gaulle beginning in 2002, basically replacing the aging F-8 Crusader in the carrier base operations. The Army de l'Air Rafales fighters reached initial operating capability by I believe, by mid 2007, marking the full integration of the Rafale into the French air power. Now, speaking about the Rafale variants, so Rafale C is a single-seat land-based variant designed for the Air Force. And the Rafale B, which is what you guys see here in front of you, a two-seater aircraft, it is also a land-based variant and also used for a training purposes. Then the Rafale M, also a single-seat variant, specifically designed for a carrier-based operations and with a reinforced airframe and a landing gear, so that can be able to sustain the landings on the aircraft carriers, much like what we've seen on the F-18 Super Hornets or the Legacy Hornets. Anyways, I digress. Moving on, in 2011, the Rafale played a prominent role in Operation Harmattan, which was the French component of the NATO-led intervention in Libya during the campaign. Rafales executed deep strike missions, precision bombing, and the air superiority patrols, contributing significantly to the enforcement of no-fly zone and the eventual degradation of Muammar Gaddafi's military infrastructure. Basically, this operation showcased Rafale's ability to conduct multi-role stories from the carrier and the land-based platforms. Following these operations, the Rafale became a critical component of France's contribution to the global fight against the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, and, beginning in 2014 under Operation Chammal. French Rafales conducted combat air patrols, close air support, and strategic bombing missions. Further, after these extensive operations in the Middle East, the Rafale continued to demonstrate its strategic utility and operational reach in a series of high-profile missions across other theaters. Moving on, the Rafale entry into the international fighter market marked a significant milestone in France's ambition to sustain a sovereign and global competitive aerospace industry. Um, After years of being overlooked in favor of American or consortium developed fighters, Rafale secured its first major foreign contract in 2015 when Egypt, seeking to modernize its air force amidst regional instability, ordered 24 aircraft. This deal, which eventually expanded to 54 units, marked a geopolitical turning point as Cairo deepened its defense ties with Paris, while also diversifying away from traditional U.S. and Soviet era suppliers. Whew, fidgeting with a pen. Sorry, folks, I didn't even realize I was doing that. Well, I guess sometimes it's my way of thinking and staying focused. Now, I've realized I have a fidgeting habit on a camera that I picked up, so please ignore my pen as I talk. So, coming back to the subject at hand, shortly after Qatar followed suit, signing a contract for 24 Rafales in 2015 with an option for 12 more, eventually bringing its total order to, I believe, 36 aircraft. Other countries with a high interest on the Rafale platform, we have Greece and Indonesia, other nations like Qatar, Croatia, and incidentally, Serbia have also purchased the Rafale, with Oman and uh, other countries basically reportedly in talks to buy this specific platform. Moving on, according to the French Air Force officials, this aircraft will remain in service until at least 2060 and beyond. Arguably, it is a long term platform. And so far, this aircraft has a zero combat loss, so it's never been shot down. Now, since we've got the history out of the way, now let's dig into the details of the model. Let's see how Hobbymaster accurately captured the Rafale. First of all, this is from Hobbymaster, of course, in 1/72nd scale. The model number is HA9605. So let's start with the paint accuracy. I think the paint accuracy is incredibly realistic, at least in my humble opinion. I think the paint quality looks good. The other small details, such as quote unquote French roundels, other formation lights on the fuselage, um, and the Army de l'Air insignia on the vertical stabilizer, they're done pretty well. The SNCMA, or the engine nozzles on this model, looks good. The shape of the delta wing is on point. The canard wings are static but really well executed and have a fantastic finish. The only thing that would have approved it for me, if they were articulated or movable, excuse me, I should say, if Hobbymaster would have added this movable canard feature, that would be a very powerful option. That would have taken it to the next level. And I think that's a miss for Hobbymaster. And for some collectors, might be a little disappointing. Not a big issue for me. Moving on, all things considered with this model, really well detailed. The shape of the aircraft, the nose, the uh, the S shape of the air intakes, and the landing gear are all fantastic. in that perspective. Of course, it comes with two Hobbymaster generic pilot figures, so you can fully customize your display. Just heads up, folks, the pilot figure that comes with every Rafale has a cut-off legs. I'm not sure why, but I'm suspecting it's probably because the cockpit is a tight fit on the Rafale. So that's why Hobbymaster made a faithful decision. You know, once you install that pilot figure on the cockpit, really no one cares about the legs, right? Anyways, it's not a major deal though. Uh, well, two canopies are included, so you can display the cockpit either open and closed. So moving on to the accessories, the model is equipped with a payload consisting of three external fuel tanks, one center line fuel tank, and two under each wing, along with a 6 laser-guided bombs. And I believe this particular example has a 4 air-to-air missiles. And lastly, the target designator, or the Talios pod. I think it's a rather comprehensive loadout. The fitment accessories were seamless with this particular example. I would say very easy and straightforward. Also, the model comes with a standard stand that comes with the you know every that it comes with every hobby master model. I'm not a big fan of it. For presentation, which is great, for showcasing it on the desk or shelf. However, to get the best possible shots for my videos, I use a 2-line suspension system that I created for a more dynamic in-flight effect, and basically allows me to get more dynamic view and more realistic flight configuration. Now, speaking regarding the availability, obviously this release is still fairly available, and I will say, looks like Hobbymaster has a strong back catalog and several good recent releases. There are plenty of great options to choose from. Anyways, I'm happy to have a quite few Rafales in my collection. Um, I think Rafale is a superb aircraft. Absolutely delighted to add this to my French aircraft collection. It's a surefire winner. This is an outstanding model, and I highly advise adding it to your collection. It genuinely stands out due to its exceptional presentation. All right, folks, that's it for today. If you've watched this far, thank you for watching. If you like what I'm doing, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to show your appreciation to my channel, please consider subscribing. That would help me a ton. And for those of you who have subscribed already, I'd like to take a moment here and extend my heartfelt appreciation. And your support means a lot. And yeah, thank you immensely. And don't forget to check out my other videos that might spark your interest. Until next time, thanks for watching, everyone.